Welcome to an episode, Chat Sports Talk. And here we go again. Conference realignment. Yes, that's still floating around. Remember, we still have a PAC conference. It's not quite dead yet. Oregon State and Wazzu are hanging on tight for dear life. They still have that entity in place for a couple more seasons. But we're starting to see movement happening. Recently, they couldn't get a deal in place with the Mountain West to share or to help out their scheduling for the 26th season. And things started to escalate, I think, behind the scenes that, unless you were part of that, you didn't really see it that well. And now 4 programs to the Mountain West have stated they will be leaving and joining Oregon State and Washington State's revival of the PAC-8. Those programs will include Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State. Now, they've only grabbed those 4 because they're looking at the possibility to see what happens with the ACC with Cal and Stanford. So they'll get the PAC to 6, which is not enough to get an AQ spot. So they need at least 2 more. So the first 2, of course, is going to be Cal Stanford. At least get 2 more of the original PAC members back in. Really focused on California as a whole. That's the reason why they went to San Diego State to get in Southern California. So they went to Colorado State. Boise State, everyone knows. Fresno State's had a great teams as well, give you a Central Valley location. So then things start to transpire. Who should be on the list next? And that is a very good question, and you have lots of possibilities that can transpire. Maybe to get Cal, like I said, Cal and Stanford, I think they're top 2 they're looking and trying to bring back. I think it'll make more sense for those 2 programs to get back to the PAC, back to a Western-based conference. But we'll see how it is with TV contracts and whatnot. But outside of those 2, let's consider some possible locations they can go. One is try to go after some American programs like Memphis, Tulane, Rice, UTSA. I think all 4 of those would definitely probably be on the radar. Tulane, Rice give you that academic standards. Also get you 4 programs in the Central Time Zone if they get all 4, even 2 of them. We're seeing Tulane football on the rise. Memphis football is on the rise. UTSA, we're starting to see a little bit of decline at UTSA right now. And Rice is just Rice. But Rice will get you Houston. We got San Antonio, New Orleans, and Memphis, all viable markets. But trying to pull these programs out of the American might be hard. Memphis is really eyeing possibly ACC or Big 12. Or maybe it's part of a deal where they get Memphis and Tulane to come in and then trade those 2 to the ACC to get Cal Stanford. Doubt it, but, right now anything's possible. And then from the Mountain West, look at UNLV is probably up there number 1. Remember, this is a growing sports market right now. With the NHL, the NFL, Major League Baseball is going there soon. You got the Allegiant Stadium, where the Rebels play in. So you have an NFL stadium they can utilize. And I think it's just a good-sized market for them to gain access to. The football program's doing really good. I mean, they have history in basketball. They've won a national championship. Made the back-to-back finals. So that's a possibility as well. You also have Wyoming can make a move over. because of their rivalry with Colorado State. New Mexico is another one. Get you one of those four-corner locations. But New Mexico's athletic program, down on par, really. Par with the rest of them. San Jose State's another one you can look at. You know, especially if you don't grab anymore. You don't grab, you know, the OGs of the Cardinal and Bears. Grabbing San Jose State would be I think an option. And I saw an article out there that said Air Force. And I'm going to push back on that. I do not foresee any service academies jumping to a power conference. I think they're going to stay in the group. Service academies are not going to have one above the other two. So I think they want to keep all three on the same playing field. So Air Force being added, even though it makes sense, because Air Force has had decent programs, decent year in playing football, they will not be added to the PAC. If they're just going to concentrate on Mountain West teams, I would go UNLV and either San Jose State or New Mexico. Look at, for the PAC, I think the top two candidates, I've mentioned it, I think, at least 5 times already. Subliminal messages. Stanford, Cal. If the ACC completely falls apart, I think getting those two back into the fold, top priority. Can't get those two. UNLV, San Jose State. Maybe look at New Mexico and Wyoming, but I think San Jose State, UNLV probably should be the top two. I know trying to grab something out of the American might want to do, but it all depends what the Big 12 does and all that. So I'm going to leave the American programs out of it. So no Central Time Zone teams, either Mountain or Pacific. So yeah, no UTSA, no Memphis, no Tulane, no Rice, no Tulsa, North Texas, nothing like that. So that's the PAC 8 settled. Yeah, we're going to go all the way back to the PAC 8. What does the Mountain West do now? Now, the Mountain West right now is sitting at 8 programs. I think it's a good spot. For them, they could either go grab New Mexico State and UTEP and bring them over, since they have history with all the programs in there. Makes sense, especially geographically for New Mexico State and UTEP. So they still have those odd games in Hawaii for football, but otherwise everything else is local, pretty much, except for like San Jose State. We'll just have to see. That's the reason why UTEP didn't participate in the Mountain West or kept in the WAC, because they wanted more Central Time Zone with other Texas schools. So I don't know. It's weird how that one kind of plays out. We'll see how that one develops. But first out, those are the first two I'll go to. Additionally, probably look at the Montanas, try to coerce them to make the jump up. Sacramento State's another one to definitely look at to bolster up the California market. Portland State will be an interesting one, but Portland State needs a football stadium before anything happens with that. So I don't see that one happening anytime soon. Northern Arizona would be an interesting look at. But they're going to have to do some upgrades at the Walkup Sky Dome to increase the size or whatnot. So interesting things there. Also, North Dakota State, South Dakota State could be a possible targets as well. So there's a few avenues the Mountain West could go to try to bolster the numbers. If they go grab New Mexico State and UTEP, I think Conference USA will stay at 10 or 8 now. We'll go back to 8 or 10. Yeah, 10. Wow. They'll go back to 10. Maybe to try to find 2 others to make the jump up. Who knows? The endless possibilities of how these dominoes will continue to fall will generate a lot of fanfare with this. But having The 4 for the Mountain West, join Oregon State and Washington State on a permanent basis to resurrect the PAC. The PAC's going to look for 2 more. They have option A and then B, C, D, E for the rest. So, and then what happens with the Mountain West? You know, they're not going to stay at 8. They're going to try to expand their numbers once again. And then once that happen, does it help collapse a Conference USA? Going back to that same scenario again. Or they just start rating FCS all over. I mean, it's the dominoes falling can go, like I said, many different directions. But to recap, the PAC will be having, starting the 2026 season, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State as part of the conference. More will follow for sure to get them to that AQ status of 8-member conference. Option A, of course, Stanford and Cal, depending on the deals with the ACC. Option B, I would say San Jose State, UNLV doesn't fall through. Other programs, Memphis, Tulane, UTSA, Rice, New Mexico State, are probably all in the mix. For the Mountain West, New Mexico State and UTEP is their option A. Option B would be the Montanas. Option C would be North Dakota State, South Dakota State. Yeah, I'll still put Tarleton and Sacramento State on the radar as well. But, you know, quick synopsis, I mean, there's just too many scenarios to kind of see how they would continue to fall. But, you know, it's once one domino starts to fall, it's just a matter of time for others start to follow suit. You know, we'll kind of see how things kind of play out from this aspect. And let me know what you think. Does this help keep the PAC as a power conference? Do you think Stanford or Cal should return to the West Coast? Which programs, if any, would the Mountain West add? Which FCS team, if any, would make the jump? Let's mix up in the comments below. As we all know, these conference realignments always generate a lot of buzz, a lot of fanfare, and best way to interact is through the comments. Keep it civilized. Get the interaction going. Once we get the interaction going, boosts up the algorithm of this video, gets it out to the masses. Let everyone enjoy the ramblings of this old man that can't tell his left from his right sometimes. If you stay here long enough, you enjoy what I do, hit that thumbs up. It means a lot to me. It doesn't really affect you as much, but it means the world. You can also subscribe. I love you guys do that. I love you all for doing that. But man, if you don't, it doesn't cost you anything. You just hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon, turn on notification. Let you know next time I post any more content on my channel. And I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.